Recording is officially underway. Happy Monday again. It is April 12th. Time for a little weekly outlook. Talking about stocks, forex, cryptos today. Like I said, big week ahead. We have some big earnings from banks this week. Just a little discussion from last week's movers. We had the S&P up 2.71%. We had the NASDAQ up 3.12%. The Russell, interestingly enough, finished flat for the week, negative 0.46%. The Dow Jones advanced 1.95%. We have bank earnings, like I said, this week, big ones. JP Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, all reporting earnings prior to market open on Wednesday. And then we have Morgan Stanley on Friday. That's pre-market. So those are big banks. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley, all reporting earnings this week. If you are in, I'll get to that disclaimer in a second. If you happen to be with myself and Tyson Clayton in the Equities on Demand class, we're live every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In fact, we're going to be live today at 10 o'clock. That's when we start. And we're playing the Wells Fargo earnings report this week. So that comes out on Wednesday. We actually have an earnings play that's kicking off today as well. That is APHA. So anyway, let's get into the charts here. We'll take a look at the SPY, the Qs, the diamonds. We'll take a look at FANG stocks. We'll see where we're at from stocks this week. And Wall Street's ready to kick things off. So if you are looking at this disclaimer, you understand there's risk in trading, please and always use trade capital only. Doesn't matter what trade class we're in, asset class, whether you're trading stocks, forex, futures, cryptocurrencies. Understand there's risk in trading, all right? Everything I'm talking about is for educational purposes only. Past performance doesn't show future results, all that good stuff. So you know the deal. We sign up for it if you're a trader. You understand there's risk in trading. Got it? All right, good morning, Frank. Good morning, Percy. How are you? Good morning, Denise. Nice to see everybody. I'm glad I got the title fixed at 9 a.m. All right, if you're following me out there on social media, best way to find me is here in the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chris Pulver. Sending me messages, send me comments. I appreciate the thumbs up and videos like this and my Keep It Seriously Simple and my trading indicators. I'm also going to create a new playlist. I'm working on those videos. I'm trying to get all of them collected. That is just walking through broker platforms. That will be for stocks as well as Forex. Just trying to help traders navigate some of these brokers out there, platforms. They're pretty much trying to show the same thing. Some are a little bit more user-friendly. Some of them a little bit more intuitive. So anyway, I've got another video series, a playlist I'm going to put together just walking through all these different stocks and Forex brokers. Right? If you want to send me a direct message, you can follow me on Instagram at pulver.chris, and you can send me a direct message. But we are streaming these sessions Mondays and Fridays. We're streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, as well as Twitch and LinkedIn. Okay, Equities on Demand, like I said, very exciting week last week. Had a ton of trades. For the last 2 weeks, we've closed up over 20 trades in profit out of like 23 trades we've taken. It's an awesome class. I'm having a blast. It was probably one of the longest weeks I've had in a long time. I think Tyson and I probably both clocked close to 70 plus hours for the week between, live sessions, content, posting, updates. My computer was running on fumes probably 12 to 14 hours a day. But it's good energy. It's a ton of fun. And, for us, we're ready to pour all that effort into it. Okay, morning, Kathy. Trading indicators A to Z. I'm going to try to get some more videos together this week if I can. I'm right now at the moment, I'm a little I can breathe, but it's like I'm kind of drowning in content right now. Just trying to get everything organized and make sure that I'm not losing sight of what needs to go where. So this is a playlist I'll continue to build out. Same thing with my Keep It Seriously Simple video series. Trying to finish up a robot one for my MetaTrader 4 backtester and portfolio architect. This one I'm looking at the awesome oscillator and average true range are my next ones in alphabetical order. So just getting started on that one. So that is it. Let's get into the charts today. Let's go for about 25 to 30 minutes. I want to take a look at the SPY from last week. If you just take a look, the markets are advancing. All right, we're starting to see a bit of a stretch away move. The SPY has advanced around 3+% above the recent highs. So if you remember me talking about if we have kind of a healthy cycle where we have the market making pushes and pullbacks, pushes and pullbacks, pushes and pullbacks, this is probably a good thing, right? But as we start to stretch further away, the more this looks like a bit of a capitulation move kind of blowing off the top. I don't know if this is a run through April, as April is typically historically a strong bullish month for the stock market. So is it, the old adage, selling may go away? We'll find out. Okay, we'll find out. So if this starts to run aggressively higher without much pullbacks and all we see are gaps, okay, if we just see gaps, 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 right? Then eventually, when this ends up hitting, and what I'll watch is I'll just pull up my indicators, the relative strength and the momentum oscillator. If we hit some of those really obvious bearish divergence signs, then I'll be looking for a pullback at least into this trend line. Okay, now the one thing to note, I'm still a bull in the stock market until this low is taken out. I'm still a bull in the stock market until we noticeably take out this trend line. So we could go up, 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 advance this 3, 4, 5%. We could pull back to the trend line, form some support, and buy that dip again, right? Come back to the trend line, form some support, buy that dip again. If this market continues to make higher lows, then the sentiment and the risk appetite and the buying behavior will continue. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Right, good morning, Chris. Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Anthony. Nice to see you. All right, that's the S&P. Let's take a look at the diamonds. DIA following the Dow Jones again, also at new highs. We have a monthly target, weekly target. We have a massive gap from the Dow Jones from last week. Wall Street's going to open here in about 22 minutes. But again, advancing from last week, if we're going to keep pushing higher, okay, do we have a pullback coming soon? And buy the dip? Or is this a start out with a dip to start the week, and then we have some earnings that maybe show some good signs, and all of a sudden the market starts to advance once again? We'll find out. Okay, but the S&P did pretty well last week. The NASDAQ, let's go to the Qs. Okay, right back up to the highs. We had said be long if price closes above this recent resistance, and it did, and it has, and we're right back up to these highs. Now, the question for the NASDAQ, the question for tech, we'll take a look at FANG stocks here in a moment. The question for this is, will it keep advancing? Okay, will we keep advancing up to new highs? If so, I'm going to take a look at the higher time frame. Let's go to the daily chart for a moment. Okay, are we advancing? Let me shrink this a little bit. Are we advancing into overbought territory? No. Are we advancing into divergence? Kind of. So a bit of disagreement there, but I would rather take a look at this weekly chart. Let's go to the weekly chart here. There we go. See if I can move this down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so weekly chart on the QQQ. I would say if we do end up scoring a point here for those bulls and the Qs or the NASDAQ advances to new highs, one thing I'd be looking at is this. That is disagreement. Okay, if we also stretch up into the top again, I'd be looking at this. Some type of equal high overbought condition. I would be looking for that subtle, bearish divergence, that kind of hidden bearish divergence if price makes new highs, but momentum does not. If price makes new highs and there's a lower high with the relative strength and we're still in overbought conditions. Okay, again, that's not saying that the top is in. That's just being cautious that a correction is likely going to happen. All right, so it's a good indication to be protecting profits. Anyway, so we had said be long. If price closes above, this is the levels that we had bracketed. So price closes higher, closes above, and advances to those previous highs from February. Right? So will it advance to this high, hit resistance, and start to chop around so we start to establish some sideways movement? Or will this advance, break the highs, right? Break the highs, pull back, use this as what was resistance becomes support. Maybe tech continues to advance quickly, right? So we had, tech last year was pretty much leading the way. We had a bit of a sell-off early on. We'll take a look at the FANG stocks, and you'll see like the big tech stocks are still advancing. So let's go to Apple and see what Apple's been doing. Okay, take a look at this. This is on a daily chart. Last week was very profitable for Apple. We had from the start of the week around 122. We're up to 133. Pre-market is 132. But again, will Apple advance to previous highs, which gets us up into the 140 area? So will Apple continue to advance to 140? Very possible. We could also have some pullbacks. Don't be surprised to see some consolidation on some of these tech stocks, right? So if this comes with consolidation, I expect volatility to be a little bit higher. Okay, so that's Apple. Let's go to Amazon, which, by the way, Amazon sounds like it is winning the battle of unionizing. So that big case in Alabama, I believe, I think I have a newsletter on that this morning. Let me take a look. Let me mark this one as unread. So Robinhood Snacks, their newsletter says Amazon union victory. Let me read that really quickly here. Let's see. Amazon emerges victorious from its historic labor battle against unionization. All right. So 71% of Alabama workers who cast ballots voted against joining the union, the Retail Wholesale Department Store Union. Prime outcome, while Amazon says it didn't win because employees made the choice, it's victory for Amazon. So that's a big deal. So who knows? I mean, there's probably all sorts of crazy stuff going on while that was happening. I don't know. But nevertheless, Amazon comes out kind of victorious, especially when it comes to if it was Alabama, where else? But if it was kind of squashed in Alabama, then maybe it stays suppressed for right now, and Amazon continues to push higher. So speaking of pushing higher, here we are advancing to 33.72. I've been a big advocate here with these equal lows on Amazon, buying it at 3,000, level 1. If it came back into previous resistance around 2,500, level 2. If it came down into these pocket levels from last year, 2,200, level 3. And just continue to look for opportunities to buy Amazon. Could we advance up to these highs around 3,500? Absolutely. So I'm looking for this to keep going higher. All right. The question is, will we hit these highs? I'm not drawing straight lines very well. Will we hit this high and then see some rejections? Or will we see these highs, okay, pull back again using resistance becoming support and then see Amazon advance to new highs? We'll find out, right? But the advancing from last week is pretty strong. Stock's looking to continue to gain. So that's Amazon. That is Apple. Let's go to Netflix. Okay, Netflix still stuck in some range-bound areas. Again, streaming wars are pretty obvious. Paramount Plus, CBS Plus, Peacock Plus, Apple TV Plus, Hulu Plus, Netflix, you name it, they've got it. In fact, I saw an interesting article. If you put all of the streaming, like right now, the kind of the mainstream streaming services together, it's around $92 a month. And the average cable bill, not like promo cable bills. I'm talking like your average cable bill, like DirecTV back in the day or whatever. Your cable box is around $90. So again, I mean, that's you can see that. So if you're just in Netflix or just HBO Max, like, okay, spend $15 a month and you can kind of cut the cord, so to speak. But it's interesting. There's so many options now. If you're like, oh, that's cool, I want to watch those movies on HBO Max. Oh, Netflix, I've had it for a long time, and all of a sudden my Netflix started at $4.99. Now it's $13.99 over the course of 10 years. So anyway, Netflix has some resistance ahead. 570, 575. Look for that resistance up there. We've been watching this structure pretty carefully. All right. So, again, I'm not going to sell Netflix necessarily. If we do see this resistance, it makes sense we would drop from there and have some sideways movement. I'm more along the lines of I'm just going to accumulate. If Netflix comes back down to this yearly pivot, which is around 470, I'm just going to buy more. If it goes up here, comes back in, buy more. Comes back here, goes back again, buy more. I'll just accumulate. Do I think Netflix can make a run? Sure. Ultimately, if it breaks higher highs, good. If other streaming services are cut, let's say in the next 2 to 3 years. Let's say the streaming stuff that's so popular right now is all of a sudden cut, and you see a downsizing. I think Netflix is, kind of a behemoth in streaming, right? So I don't think they're necessarily going anywhere. They're just continue to get bigger and buy more content. So anyway, at some point, I think Netflix continues to advance. But right now, just looking at some resistance. What else? Netflix, Google. Okay. Google advancing to new highs, 2270. I'm just waiting for a pullback. I'd like to see a pullback on Google, just not getting it. So I haven't really had levels to add to Google. I own it, hold it. A lot of fractional shares I bought over the years, but I want to get a pullback. I don't have it yet. So I just continue to hold and wait for good opportunities. Microsoft is also pretty similar to that. We don't really have many pullbacks on Microsoft. We've advanced to 255.85, and pre-market we're looking to close even higher, or open higher rather, 256.35. Okay, so watch something like this on Microsoft. Just trying to see if this bullish structure remains intact. We might push up a little bit, pull back, past resistance becomes support, continue to buy, past resistance becomes support, continue to buy, and just stay with that overall trajectory. What's up, dude? You were just up here a second ago, weren't you? All right. Benji's indecisive this morning. So look for these advancements to continue. Let's take a look at some bigger tech stocks. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla at 680 or 677.02 was the close from last week. 686. So pre-market, we're looking at a $9 open higher on Tesla. All right, that'll be interesting. There is a monthly pivot right here from March. And one thing I'm watching on Tesla is this a high to low? Are we going to show some signs here? Now, that could either build itself out. That could build into some type of rising wedge where this high to low slide ends up correcting more to the downside. Could. Now, we could also be forming something like this where eventually we build a top and a bottom, and then we blow through that resistance and we head right back up to those previous highs. So I'm not quite sure if this is a bullish or bearish pattern on Tesla. I'll continue to watch that, and if Tesla advances, if we get Tesla to go down, I would expect other EV stocks to follow. If Tesla goes up, I would expect other EV stocks to follow. Right, just kind of grouping them together for right now. Okay, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, let's talk cryptos. Yes, let's go Bitcoin. Okay, we're at 60,433. I have a chart alarm set above the highs around 61.9. $61,980 is a previous high. Will we advance and strike those highs? Will that chart alarm go off? I certainly hope so. I did have a chart alarm hit my Ethereum, Ripple, and Litecoin this weekend, and so I checked, and new watermarks, new highs in cryptos. That's pretty exciting. FBIO. Peter, I haven't taken a look at that one. What's up, Philip? Yeah, Doji was up like 20%, I think, over the weekend, I believe, right? I did see that was quite an advance as well. For the day, it's pulled back, but a big move from the weekend. So the 11th was yesterday. Big advancement there, Doji, from 63 cents up to around 80 cents. That's a pretty big jump again. Bitcoin, steadily gaining. Haven't broken the highs at 61,980, but leading towards it. If we score a point and keep going, that's great. If we score a point and retreat, okay, watch the structure carefully, right? Continue to monitor the structure. Let's make sure that if we're going to stay bullish, this is one thing that's a little concerning, as we are stretching into some overbought conditions, and if it keeps doing this, that is a rising wedge. I hate to say it, but that's a rising wedge. So if and when it breaks structure, don't be surprised to see this thing get into a downward spiral. All right, and we know that to the downside, it could be fast and furious. But until that happens, right, if it maintains the structure, look for higher highs, higher lows. If it squeezes towards the end, what we might have is one final move to the upside before it forms more of a top. All right, so just be monitoring that. Maybe it's 100,000. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a price. Nobody has a price on where Bitcoin is supposed to go or where the next top is at. But just keep monitoring these higher lows for right now. Okay, Ethereum. Yes, we'll look at some Forex pairs, Charles. Yep, I've got some Forex pairs to focus on this week. So let me finish up some of these cryptos. Ethereum at new highs, 2153. So we did poke some highs this weekend, which was pretty nice to see. Litecoin also advanced, poked some new highs for the weekend, which was nice to see. We're at 252. Litecoin has room to run towards the 2018 highs at 417. So hopefully Litecoin will continue its run into the 2018 highs. Ripple is another one that advanced. Had a chart alarm go off on Ripple as well. It is at $1.38. Wow, look at that. Look at that weekly candle. Oof. So what's interesting is, look at this run here. I mean, from 2017 to 18's run, that is obviously straight up. I will be looking for ways to protect my profits on Ripple if we come anywhere near these highs. So, and again, I think it'd be wise for me to hang on to it longer term. But I'm going to take some profit. I mean, from 17 cents to $3, that would be pretty amazing. The same time is, look at this candle. Okay, it's a massive candle. So somebody had emailed me or messaged me on the YouTube channel about pockets. So I gave a nice kind of paragraph reply. I will do a pockets in my Keep It Serious and Simple video series. But a pocket is this. You're looking at it right here. That's a perfect example of a pocket. This is a perfect example of a pocket, right? And so even if Ripple continues to advance to the upside, I have a feeling that price is going to find a way to come back down to it. All right. So what could be happening is we could have this advancement stall, correct its way back down to the breakout around 75 to 80 cents, and then have that be a demand level to buy once again. Okay, or a buy level, right? Previous resistance becomes support. Pocket gets filled. Lots of buyers are sitting right there to take it up again. But if it advances and pauses, then that could be a bull flag, and you just look for more, and you look for more, and you look for more, just like we had here. All you see are bullish candles and these big advances to the upside, right? So if you go down to a smaller time frame, this is going to be lots of bull flags. So if we have the same type of trajectory, look for bull flags on Ripple. But once we get into these highs at $3 plus, I think it's important to be looking at least protecting some profits. All right. So, but again, it's pretty exciting. And I know that this probably makes a lot of traders mad because they saw that Ripple was delisted and they're not able to trade it past like January, whatever. Or I don't even know when they did it. When did they delist it? Was this early in the year? When all this started to happen with the SEC, that was January, I believe. It was either late December or early January. And I know that kind of forcefully took traders out of Ripple. They didn't know really how to get back in. I kept some. I took some profit, kept some, put some money in other cryptos. Here is Stellar Lumen. I'm trying to load that up right now. XLM USD. There we go. 59 cents on Stellar Lumen. This is supposed to be somewhat correlated to Ripple, but it's Ripple's moving a lot faster and outpacing that for right now. Basic attention tokens, another one, advancing to $1.44. I believe I could check the feed here, but we're at new highs on the base. I mean, all this is good. All this is good. No complaints. Scott says, what exchange is Ripple on? It's going to depend on your broker, Scott. I mean, honestly, it sounds like a lot of U.S. traders and UK traders are not able to buy or sell Ripple. You're going to have to use an actual exchange. I think like Bitfinex, you can actually either trade Ripple or close Ripple, or maybe I'm going to have to check because I'm basically looking at converting Ripple into another coin. That's the question is how do we get a Ripple? I'm going to find out because, right now at $1.38 on Ripple, I'm not really worried about getting out, but at $2, $2.50, $3, I want to make sure that I have a plan to get out and protect those profits because my break even right now is 17 cents. So from 17 cents to $3 plus, I want to be able to get out of Ripple, take that cash, at least hold it, put it into another coin, transfer it over, whatever. So I'll have a plan on that. I'll find some more information. So join me on Friday for the weekly recap, and we'll talk more about that. I'll have a plan of attack on if we see Ripple continue to advance. Okay, all right, let's take a look at some currencies. Let's go dollar index. So dollar index, let's go to the daily chart here. I still like a lot of the currency pairs that I'm still in this week, and I'll make a note of the ones that I really like this week. Dollar index pulled back to the monthly target for April. That's kind of a good sign. So we have a monthly target here. If we have this low to high, pull back, push higher, pull back, we might advance off of that monthly pivot and become support. Okay, so we might see an advancement in the dollar this week. If it's going to fall back a little bit, then we still have a crown pattern that would form a flat, and then the dollar would continue to run. So I'm still looking for dollar strength in the next probably 2 to 4 plus weeks. All right, we still are, we're getting into the meat of April. It's April 12th, and we're going to be getting through the midpoint of April. Typically, April and May are good trending months in Forex, so we'll see if the dollar continues to show, either signs of a trend, like if it breaks this trend line and advances, look for the dollar strength to continue. If it pulls back more, look for this area to form some strength on the dollar once again and sustain this run starting in May. Maybe that trend starting in May could get us all the way through May, has enough momentum and drifting to get us into June, July, and August. Okay. All right, so that is US dollar. Let me talk about some of the currency pairs I like. So dollar CAD, this still remains one of my favorites. I will be, again, aggressive on the right side of the trend line. I like these equal highs right here around 2,900. I really like to see if we can get back to 3,000. And, again, maybe it looks like something like this. We have this little push. We're pausing. If we advance up to 2,900, that would be a conservative target one. If we advance up to 3,000 even, that's a nice profit level that I like with a round number. Ideally, my big profit level is all the way up here towards this yearly pivot, which is around 3,350. Right? But to get there, there's going to have to be some price action. We might have this thing break the trend line, pull back and retest the lows, and then advance. It might pull back and form a double bottom around equal lows at 2,400, and then go. So for me, it's just keep an eye on the right side of the trend line on dollar CAD. Once we break it, I think we have freedom to run towards 1.3, 1.3350. Right? So I do like dollar CAD. Just look for confirmation on the right-hand side of the trend line. I also like the Euro Aussie. Okay, Euro Aussie at 56.17. Hopefully we are going to advance. I'm going to set a chart alarm here on the Euro Aussie at 56.60. 56.60, new highs. I'm looking for new highs on the dollar or the euro Aussie. I'm still looking for this one to push back up into 1.60. This happens to be a harmonic pattern, which really uses all of March. This is X, A, B, C to D. Okay, something like that. I can show you. Well, it looks something like that. So basically, I'm trading it back to this low, which is just above 1.60. Okay, so it may not be fast, right? But I think on the right-hand side of this trend line, this is why I'm long. This is why I talk to traders in my flex room. We have an equal low right here. We are spending some time on the right-hand side of the trend line. If we advance and just continue to work our way up, previous lows, previous highs, look for scoring points above 1.60. Anything at 1.60, I'll be pretty happy with that. I've leveled myself in with my Price Action Pro. It's a little robot that helps me get into some trades, and so it's in profit. I'm just trying to manage those profits more effectively to the upside and looking at 1.60. So dollar CAD I like. Euro Aussie I like a lot. Euro New Zealand, another one that I like a lot. Chart alarms are set just above the highs if we can advance. Okay, pull back in here. We advanced, pull back, or I'm sorry, push up, pull back, push up. Let's see if we can break these highs. Pull back again, advance. So again, I'm looking for 1.70 or higher. We should be able to head up towards 1.7150. If you want to write that down, 1.7150. Okay, I would be happy. I mean, chart alarms are set at 170. If we get through 1.70, I think we can advance an easy 50 to 100 pips. So 1.71, 1.7150. That's my near-term target on the Euro New Zealand. And again, X, A, B, C, D. Looking for that convergence right there, which is around 7,200. So I'm just looking to see where we can get back to, and that's my bullish target. So I'm buying Euro Aussie, I'm buying Euro New Zealand, I'm buying dollar CAD, and let's check some others. I'm still short on the Aussie yen. Okay, we have a lot of indecision here on the Aussie yen. We have broken recent lows. Let's take a look at the smaller time frame. Okay, so one thing I did look at on the Aussie yen is this. We have this low, potentially a crown pattern. We have this low and this low. So if we're going to start solidifying some tops, this would be an excellent spot to look for some resistance to hold and see if the Aussie yen continues to slide lower. Hopefully it does. Anything below this low, I'm going to be looking to take some profit on the Aussie yen. So that low is around 82.30. Anything, 8,200 or lower would be great for profit. Ideally, look left on your chart. Previous resistance around 81. So let's just see if we can advance. High to low, lower high to lower low. If we advance to symmetry, I'll go ahead and measure that right here. I'll measure it exactly, actually. Let's take a look at this. So if I go high to low, and I clone that, let's say that we have a lower high and we push down to a lower low. That symmetry is around 81.15, right? 81.15. So, for me, if it goes lower than that, that's gravy. If it gets to 81.50, 81.15, to me, that's screaming take profit to be on the safe side. Okay, so just measuring some symmetry on that Aussie yen. All right, I'm trying to think. Any other ones that I like? I closed out on EuroCAD last week. Let's keep an eye on this one. I like this potential crown pattern right here. If we do advance back up on EuroCAD, that wouldn't be a surprise. EuroCAD I took some profit on last week. Euro Pound took some profit on last week. Look for Euro Pound. This is a pretty good one as well. If we go from low to high and we have some pullbacks, okay, it would make sense to me that we have this weekly target, which is around 8,600, just above 8,600. Look for this level to offer some support and see if the Euro Pound advances back up into some other missed pivots. If you're interested in seeing more about pivots, check out that Keep It Serious and Simple video on pivot points. But I think Euro Pound would, again, looking to be advancing up towards like 87.50, 8,800. I'm trying to think any other trades from last week. Pound pairs are still really choppy and sideways. Pound yen, we're looking to see if the pound yen will advance lower, and if we get below this low, protect profits on that pound yen. Traders should be in profit on that pound yen overall, or very close to it. Pound dollar 37.50, still stuck. New Zealand dollar New Zealand dollar could be a good one this week as well. Okay, look for a trend line break. Look for past support to become resistance around 7,100. So if the New Zealand dollar remains really choppy, look for it to hold resistance here and then sell confirmation. So 7,100 is pretty nice resistance. We also have a nice little pocket there around 7,150. So if we advance on the right side of the trend line, I think New Zealand dollar has another leg lower. That would also be supported by the outlook of the dollar. Okay, dollar Swiss, I want to take a look at this one as well. We have a nice weekly target available. We have some pockets from last week. I hope that the dollar Swiss actually retreats. So we might have this happening. Dollar Swiss might retreat against the larger swing to the upside. So I'll draw that again. Here's the low, here's the high. So we have this massive swing to the upside. Now, if we have a corrective phase where we go A, B, C, D, dollar Swiss becomes a longer term buy in here. And again, my Price Action Pro is a robot that I've set up. We've set this one up to basically buy and space out our trades in here to buy. If it goes against us, we buy. If it goes against us, we buy. And we accumulate these small positions for the longer push to the upside. All right, so this one's going to take more time, but I still like the trade overall. We have pockets. We have a couple of targets to trade back to. So that's probably setting up pretty nicely. Dollar krona is at 8.47. We're playing the range essentially from 8.4 to 8.7 right now, and hopefully that'll advance and hit 9.0, ultimately make us some profit. Anything else on the other side? Aussie, CAD, I think that's enough. I think that's enough for right now. So a little summary. Okay, a little summary. I know I want to be respectful of time because we're going to be switching over to Equities on Demand here in about 27 minutes. So what I need to make sure I do today, and this is with a busy schedule, is getting I have to make sure that I get the content, right? So today we're streaming live. That's fine. Everyone that can view this and watch it afterwards, that's great. But I also want to make sure I include the link. So in this recording, I will include the link for my Equities on Demand. If you want to check out a webinar and see more information, if you want to look to join me on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with Equities on Demand, myself and Tyson Clayton, you are more than welcome to do that. So anyway, I just want to provide that information in videos like this, in my weekly outlook and my recap. If you have any questions, leave me a comment during these YouTube sessions. Ask me a question now or afterwards. You can leave me a comment and I'll make sure that I answer it. Okay, Donna, thanks for that. All right, so let's do a little summary here, okay? So here's what I'm doing for the week. So for the week, so stocks, I will be looking for some daily trading ops, and that's part of my Equities on Demand. We call that bottom fishing. So we'll be looking to bottom fish this week. We also have some power play. This is a weekly. We have power play setups, and that's for this week and potentially May 7th. So we might go out a couple of weeks with some options expirations, go like 30 days out. We also have some earnings. Earnings this week. We have some big ones. Let me check this week. I've got a Robinhood snack. We have APHA. So earnings this week. We're in one right now actually for Equities on Demand. APHA we're watching. We are in WFC, which is Wells Fargo. There are other ones. Remember the big banks. We have Goldman Sachs. I think that's GS. We have JPM, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. We have First Republic Bank. I'm thinking that's FRB. I could be wrong on that. But anyway, we have big bank earnings this week. Okay. We also have, let's see. Delta, Citigroup, Bank of America, BlackRock. That's another one that we're in. BLK. We're in that one. Pepsi, United Health, BNY Mellon, Morgan Stanley. So lots of earnings this week. I'm going to put this in all caps. So it doesn't mean we're going to trade all of them, but we have, I think, 4 that are carried over. We have like 3 this week, and APHA is this morning, so we're going to take a look at that. It's 9:30, so we'll be evaluating. Currently, my APHA is up about $50 as we get ready to kind of lock this in. I'm up around $160 on the on 2 of the legs. I can probably just close the whole thing out and take my $40 of profit. Anything else? So that's stock-wise, looking for some daily trading opportunities. Cryptos, do we break the recent highs? Okay, do we challenge, or are we heading to 2018 highs? If they haven't been touched already, are we just continuing to head higher? Watch those cryptos. Keep those chart alarms set above those highs. Okay, also on Friday. Okay, Friday for our recap. I'll discuss ways to trade Ripple. Okay, so when I say trade Ripple, I mean how do I take profit? How do I protect my profit on Ripple? Okay, and then in Forex, to wrap things up for today, currency pairs I like dollar CAD long. I like Euro Aussie long. I like Euro New Zealand long. Everybody can see this on my chart, right? Let's see here. I like also, I'm still looking for potentially Euro CAD and Euro Pound, another leg higher. I'm looking for any type of dip to buy. I like legs higher in both of those. CAD Swiss and Dollar Swiss, looking for buy levels. I did take some small trades in those trades, but I know that it's probably going to fall a little bit lower. So if CAD Swiss and Dollar Swiss settle in at better prices, I'm looking for sell opportunities there. Okay, so a little recap for me today. I'm going to wrap the session up here in just a second. Any questions? So, again, Equities on Demand is going to be another busy week. We'll be live here in about 23 minutes and live all week, Monday through Friday. I'll put information, so when this recording, I'll post a link to our webinar from last week, or actually 2 weeks ago. If you want to learn more about Equities on Demand, there's a direct link also to get involved. Cryptos, set your chart alarms. Make sure you set those chart alarms. Be aware of a recent high, recent low, and monitor that price action in cryptos. FX, these are my top picks for the week. I would say let's scratch the Dollar Swiss, CAD Swiss for now because it's, let it fall or let it come to better buy levels. But Dollar CAD, stick with it. I'm looking to add more. Euro Aussie, if it breaks highs, I'm looking to manage profit. Euro New Zealand, if it breaks highs, looking to manage profit. Euro CAD, Euro Pound, great trades last week, closed up for profit. Looking to manage profit on a second leg higher. Okay. Interesting observation there. Denise says bond auction this afternoon maybe cause some movement. It's very possible with a big earnings week. Another thing we want to keep monitoring is the 10-year note. Okay, we're at 1.68. So will this 10-year note continue to stretch a little bit higher? Do we end up falling down a little bit? I would be very happy if the 10-year note can start to give way, because I will be looking to lock in some interest rates in here and keep an eye on things. Now, if we start seeing the 10-year note actually declining, that's probably still a great sign for stocks to advance. But if this keeps stretching, watch this structure. Stocks are going to be choppy, I would think, if notes continue to slide up. Okay, maybe 2% is the trigger. Maybe 2% is a big exodus to show that, for real, we're closing out above some really high levels, and this is going to end up changing the game from, forcing investors to hold stocks to now switching back over into bonds and safer place. But we'll find out. Okay. Yes, I'll be live at Flex, 8 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, per usual. Equities on Demand, 10 a.m. every day this week. I'll see you all back here for YouTube on Friday. Let's have a great week. It's going to be a busy week, as always, but looking forward to trading with each and every one of you. If you have any questions, leave a comment in the YouTube video. Leave me a thumbs up. I appreciate the likes. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button for me right now. That'd be appreciated. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you in Equities on Demand in 20 minutes. See you in Flex this week. And I'll see you back here live on YouTube on Friday. Okay? All right. Let's have a good week. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.